I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon. Much more deep insights on Vedic astrology and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries, for Aries Ascendant 2025 is going to be a very exciting year. Do you know why? Because Saturn's third aspect on your first house will end on 30th of March. Until 30th of March, for the first 3 months, you are going to face a retrograde and a direct Jupiter in the second house, Rahu placed in your 12th house, and Saturn placed in the 11th house. Now, for the first quarter of 2025, you need to be careful about your finances. Your attention will be drawn more and more towards reducing your network circle, trying to keep people who really mean good to you. You will also see that you will reject being too social during this time. You might try to be more reserved. You might try to be more focused on your own abilities and try to be in contact with only a handful of people. Nothing wrong, but you should not let go of good connections and good relations just because you may not get any benefit from it. Saturn being in the 11th house will also move in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, where it will move from Purva Bhadrapada in Aquarius to Purva Bhadrapada in Pisces. Therefore, from the first 3 months, Saturn is going to make you feel that you need to limit your expectations. So this will inculcate a feeling of sacrifice and a feeling of let go. Rahu's movement, however, from the 12th house can make you feel paranoid about losing someone. So on one side, you are having this feeling that something might happen. On the other side, you have this feeling to let go of the negative energy. That is the internal war that will become too prominent in the month of April, when both Rahu and Saturn will combine in the edge of Aquarius and Pisces, which is your 12th house. Which means that you might encounter some visa related issue. You might encounter issues if you have any foreign trade going on, if you have any business that you want to develop in a foreign country. If you are an Aries moon sign, from 30th of March 2025, you will start your Sadesati. I will make a very special, specific video about Sadesati for Pisces, Aries and Aquarius people. So do subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon and don't miss another update. Stay connected, and if you want to take consultation, you can drop me an email. Talking about career. For Aries, Saturn rules the 10th and 11th house, whereas Jupiter rules the 9th and the 12th house. So after all the hard work that you do in the first 6 months, Saturn is going to give you positive results. You are going to recover the money that you have lost. And the first half of 2025 will be a transit of ups and downs from the monetary perspective, but you will stand to gain the last laugh. That means that eventually, financially, it is going to be a good year for you. If you are running a positive Mahadasha, this will even further buffer any negative effect of the transit, and you will feel almost okay, and even you will see great success. But say you are facing a negative Mahadasha, say you are facing a negative combination of Mahadasha or Antardasha, then you will just have to be a little careful and don't aim for risky investments and risky profits. Rather go for gradual increment of gain, which is the true nature of Saturn from the 11th house. Now, if you see for the first 3 months, your 8th house is playing a very vital role because Mars is debilitated, Saturn aspects the 8th house, Jupiter aspects the 8th house. This is going to be a time where if you are married, your partner's support becomes extremely crucial for you. So married life is something which will be very important. Any engagement or partnership is very important for you. That is why you need to choose your partner wisely if you are going to go ahead and choose a business partner or a life partner in 2025. Because this is going to make or break your life. Now, with respect to career, the final movement, the 3 quarters of 2025 will experience your 10th and 11th Lord in the 12th house. So after the month of June, in the second half of 2025, you stand to gain in career, but you may have to relocate. You may have to let go of certain expectations. You may have to come down to a practical level and figure out what's right for you and what's wrong for you. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Now for the next 3 quarters, or say second half of 2025, Rahu is going to influence your 11th house, which means it is going to be a great time to create meaningful association, start new projects, and maybe take a leap of faith, but only after June 2025. You need to do all the groundwork now if you want to start a business. If you are a young entrepreneur and you want to focus on the startup, or if you want to join a startup as an employee, you need to do all the groundwork and understand your role and responsibility, and also calculate duration of your stay in the company. If you want to build a project which you are going to sell off and be free, like entry and exit from a company, whether as an investor, as an innovator, as a founder, then this year will be very good for you, considering Rahu in the 11th house can give you sudden spike in gain after Saturn has exited. But do not trust this Rahu. This Rahu will act like a blessing in disguise, but Rahu being Rahu is not true to its nature. So Saturn in the 12th house will give you sustainable gain, but Rahu may give you lucrative profits, but a temporary one. You need to check out your expenses. You need to curb your expenses, and the moment you gain money in this year, focus more on savings and meaningful expenses, some expenses which is substantial but meaningful. Property wise, you might end up buying more and more properties. Your children might go abroad for studies. You might also see that you are more career focused in this year, and this can reduce your attention towards family, and that can be a problem in your family life, which can another way create a struggle in the marriage. So the first half of 2025 should be the time when you are more focused on the married life and trying to create a balance. Otherwise, you might end up fighting for a family life, or you're fighting for a divorce case. In the second half, Jupiter will enter the 3rd house in the sign of Gemini. With Jupiter entering the 3rd house, you will end up discussing a lot of matters with a lot of people. If you're a writer, if you're a teacher, if you're in the ed tech industry, if you are a corporate entrepreneur, then Jupiter movement in the 3rd house will be good for you. If you're an event manager, if you are into marriage counseling, if you are a lawyer, this year is going to be phenomenal. And if you have any married life issues, in general, from an overview bird's eye perspective, the second half seems to be promising to resolve the problems, because Jupiter is aspecting the 7th house and the 11th house. But now Jupiter comes in trine with Rahu. This means this is going to create a war of what is right and what you expect. So there will be a difference in what is the expectation or what is the feedback coming from the crowd and what you actually do. So does not matter what you get to hear, does not matter what you get to know. You should follow the path of dharma, otherwise Rahu's momentary gain will destroy and make Jupiter and Saturn work in the Chaturdashi Yoga, and it will make you commit a mistake, seemingly which may seem right. Later on, you will end up either in a hospital or with a financial loss or some regret that will last for lifetime. So be careful, especially if you are an Aries moon sign, because if you are an Aries moon sign, this is going to be an intense feeling to create a change in your life. Ketu in the 5th will create triggers related to quitting the job, quitting the education, and focusing on the gains and profit. Life will become a balance, profit and balance statement, the checks and balances. What you have to do is focus on the humanitarian side. Visit mountains this year, go for travel, enjoy with people, but make sure that you are dealing with right kind of people. So patience is very important. If you see the journey of Mars also, from the June month onward, Mars will be in the sign of Leo, Virgo, Libra. That means Mars will become positive, which is your ascendant lord, and it is very important to track the Martian transit. So when Mars goes into Leo, you will win over all the enemies, but this also means that your connection with your children might go bad. This year, you need to be focused more how to connect positively with children, how to be present in the life of your children. If you're a student watching this, you need to be careful with your studies. There will be a lot of distractions and health can be a little bit of concern. Health-wise, ideally this transit, this year 2025 is good, but you need to focus more on your heart health, take less of stress, do a lot of yoga and meditation and go with the flow. Because if you want to hit life hard and if you want to win with sheer power, especially if you are an Aries with a strong Mars, this can create a lot of problems overall. So allow the Mars to become positive in the 5th house, then Mars goes into the 6th house. This creates a huge competitive environment. So if you are giving a competitive examination such as MBA examination or any international certification, especially towards the last leg of 2025, and if you're preparing now, you can target that. You will win the competition, you will win the battle, but you always have to ask yourself at what cost. Because when Saturn sits in the 12th house, it wants you to make sure that whatever is going out of your life goes out after you have reached a conclusion. Otherwise, you will end up having sadness. Expenses will be on the higher side in 2025. That is why you need to control the expenses so that it kind of balances. Also, you might end up buying property, land, real estate. If you want to launch a factory, if you want to start a robotics industry or some factory, then this can be a year of purchases. This can be a year of growth and success, especially in the second half. So for Aries, if you see with this video, the second half seems to be very promising compared to the first half. But don't underestimate the first half of 2025. It is the foundation stone. Health-wise, if you are a patient of blood pressure, if you are a patient of anxiety, you need to meditate, you need to slow down, you need to go with the flow. Obviously, I will make independent movements. Every planet is tracked on this channel. I create ascendant-wise analysis, breaking down each energy so that it can help different kinds of people. You can watch that. But this is a holistic view of 2025. If you are running a Rahu Mahadasha or Saturn Mahadasha, then the month of March, April and May becomes very important for you because Rahu and Saturn will be crossing over. And if you keep a track on the moon's connection with Mars in every month, you will understand that your emotions on those days will be a little hyper. If you have Rahu moon conjunction, Ketu moon conjunction or Saturn moon conjunction, then this is the time where you can take healing like Reiki, and you can take healing related to pranic healing or any other modality of energy healing. People who are practicing spirituality, people who are in the spiritual line, people who are focused on the sadhana will see great success because Saturn in the 12th house will make you feel the need to be lonely, the need to be in solitude. So you might and you should take some time in the day to just be with yourself and spend quality time with your own self. This self-introspection this year will give you great insights about your life, your existence, and how many years have been passed since your soul have been taking life in this realm, and what is the soul purpose. Focus more on your Kundali's 6th house and keep a track of your 6th lord. Wherever it is going, it will keep on unlocking the Prarabdha in 2025. If you want to know more about this year, you can book your virtual reading. For consultations, you can drop me an email. So let's welcome 2025 with a broad smile, and remember, you are an energy, you are Mangal. So keep chanting Hanuman Chalisa, donate and fast on Tuesdays, avoid too much use of red color, donate red color fruits and food items, and on Tuesday, at least tell yourself that you are best and you can be better than the rest of your life. Taurus. If you are a Taurus ascendant, then you are going to experience a retrograde Jupiter which will become direct on your ascendant, and then this Jupiter will move out from Taurus to Gemini zodiac sign. So for the first 4 to 5 months, Jupiter is going to give you all the blessings and all the guidance from the first house. A retrograde Jupiter that is now is a Jupiter that is more auspicious. It is trying to change your life. It is trying to build a bigger personality here. Jupiter is your 8th lord. Jupiter is your 11th lord. Therefore, when 11th lord comes on the ascendant, this means that you are trying to adapt according to the network circle you are in. You will see that you will start mimicking your friends' habits. You will acquire a lot of habits and interests at this point of time. And this acquisition of interest will change your personality, will alter your taste. This will continue until Jupiter is in the first house. And then when Jupiter goes to the second house, the next 6-7 months of 2025, especially from May till December, is going to be more focused towards money and finance, more focused towards investment, bringing investment money in your business, and more focused towards how you, your family, your spouse and spouse's family can come together and live in a harmonious environment. Taurus will also experience a Saturn movement out of the 10th house. Saturn rules your 9th house and 10th house, and the biggest transit of 2025 is Shani transit in the sign of Pisces. Now when Saturn moves to Pisces, it moves to your 11th house. On 30th of March 2025, when Saturn is in Pisces and there are 5-6 planets in Pisces zodiac sign, Saturn comes in close proximity with Rahu, which is already in your 11th house. So for the first 3 months, you may become very self-centered, you may become a little bit greedy even. So you need to be careful here that you should not turn out to be a selfish person. You need to think about the circumstances around you. You need to think about everybody else around you. And then when you're moving positively in the right direction by taking the guidance, and if you're moving slowly, you will start receiving positive results from the second half of 2025. When Saturn moves into the 11th house, Saturn aspects your ascendant. But this time Saturn hits Rahu. Try to understand. Jupiter is a planet of wisdom and knowledge. But because Rahu is in the 11th house, house of gains, Rahu can give you illusion of gain, and no matter how much Jupiter is trying to explain things to you and try to change things for you, you may end up listening to Rahu. Especially if you are a Rahu dominated person, if you are born in Rahu Nakshatra, things will happen positively. If you are in Rahu Mahadasha, if Rahu is with your moon, sun or Jupiter in your birth chart and you are a Taurus ascendant or even Taurus moon sign, you may end up thinking more about gains and profit. Nothing wrong, but this might alter your approach and attitude towards life. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy Because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that, you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. So when Saturn moves into the 11th house, it counters that approach. It gives you a reality check. So better not to take major decisions of life in the month of March and May, because Saturn's energies will be capturing Rahu, and this Rahu, which is illusion, which is Maya, will be, will be drowned by the weight of Saturn in the ocean of Pisces. You might suddenly feel too negative, too pessimistic, and you might also question yourself and you will try to reevaluate yourself, maybe because someone influential, someone whom you admire, has shown you the real truth. So better from now onwards, you start facing the reality and you try to mold yourself as per practical reality. And if something is more like possible in your mind, but in reality it is difficult, maybe you need to take a second look. Because for the next 9 months of 2025, Saturn is going to establish itself in the Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra of Meen Rashi, thereby aspecting your first, 8th and the 5th house. It captures completely your vitals. First house is you, 5th house is the Amrit, the navel region, and the 8th house is basically life and death situation, ups and downs of life. When 8th Lord is in the Lagna, remember, this means that there can be sudden twists and turns in the first 3 to 4 months, and you may experience that twist and turns and claim that the year is bad for you or the year is exceptionally good for you. Don't believe. Allow Jupiter to move in the 2nd house, allow Rahu to move in the 10th house, and then things will become better, because now Rahu will be in its own zodiac sign of Aquarius in the 10th house, Jupiter will be in the Dhanasthana, and Jupiter from the 2nd house will bring financial success. Saturn in the 11th house will give you financial stability. Rahu in the 10th gives you innovation, and 10th Lord in the 11th house gives you a very strong Raj Yoga. So from career perspective, it seems to be very promising. It's initially struggleful, but eventually very, very positive, a year full of growth, an year full of opportunities. The only problem is that you might miss or lose the opportunity because of ego, because of this feeling that you deserve better, and because of this misconception that you have a talent more than you actually have. And this is the reality check what I was talking, that when you feel highly motivated, do a filter check. Maybe you are right, maybe you are wrong. If you are right, this is an exceptionally successful time for you, because Saturn will execute the task for you. But if you're wrong, you are going to hit a roadblock. It can drown you in debt. It can give you tremendously negative problems of life. And then your life will be continuously rolling into managing the day-to-day task. Jupiter from the 2nd house will aspect the 6th house. So overall, from the career perspective, if you are careful, if you are moving logically, opportunities will come. And if you are not greedy, if you are not accepting things in a realistic fashion, you will face problem. But if you are okay, if you are in a nice, decent attitude, career-wise, it's a very good year. Business opportunities will come in your way also. One of the reason is that while Saturn is stable now, Jupiter is in the first house, 10th house and the 7th house are experiencing Jupiter and Saturn energies. In fact, your 7th house has the aspect of Saturn and Jupiter. So from the perspective of business, any realistic product launch, any realistic timeline will work for you. But you may need the help of skilled and like efficient employees, efficient people. So you need to build a team. You can't go solo when the planet of karma, when the planet of democracy, Saturn, is in the 10th house. You have to figure out ways to build a team, build like-minded people. So for entrepreneurs, for new startups, and even for very big companies, this is going to be a very good time. It is the people who are in the middle, the major chunk, who are considering themselves as successful, but they are no longer a small company. You need to be careful. You need to reevaluate your situation because you have a very long road to travel. And the opportunities are huge. But you have to deal with patience. And when we are talking about 7th house, we are also talking about marriage. So marriage is a possibility for many, especially if your 7th house Lord is Jupiter or Saturn, then marriage possibilities are there if you're looking for that. The only thing is that career might influence your marriage. So in events related to career in 2025 will vaguely interfere in the married life, and that might give you a feeling where you are unable to manage the family life, married life and career. You need to keep them separate. Otherwise, when Ketu enters 4th house, it creates a Manadkaraka Sthan of Ketu. That means it disconnects you from home. It takes you to a foreign country. It gives you great career opportunity, but you are alone. It gives you tremendously positive approach in the professional life. Money comes, but people goes away. So find a balance there, which means you will have to be like a Jupiter, be very dharmic, very, I will say, very obedient towards the principles of dharma, so that when you are discussing the matters with your spouse, you are discussing with utmost respect and humbleness. Any sign of ego will create a war. Do not forget that your 12th house and your 7th Lord is debilitated in your 3rd house. It will go retrograde, come to Gemini, and then fall back to the Cancer zodiac sign, and then it will cross the Gandanta of Cancer unless it moves to Leo. When it comes in Leo, it joins Ketu. Then it goes in the 5th house, but it goes in Virgo, comes under direct impact of Saturn. So you will have to wait for Mars to go in Libra. But the moment Mars goes in Libra, the 7th Lord goes 12 places from itself. That means your married life is more or less troubled by this Mars's position and movement, because throughout the journey, Mars is kind of troubled. So 2025 might also see some war, Martian conflicts, because Mars is not good. When I'm saying not good, I'm saying in a very generalized manner. Please don't apply directly to your horoscope. I will make another video explaining what I mean. But see the trajectory of Mars. Mars seems to be a little uncomfortable, which is your 7th Lord, which is your 12th Lord. You may end up spending more on friends, more on trips. You may overspend, you may overinvest in business. Be careful. In matters related to assets, car, vehicles, land, property, real estate, construction business, stone related business, heavy machinery, heavy earth moving vehicles, you need to be careful when you are putting your hand there or you are investing, brokering anything. You will see success, but you will see a constant pressure being built up over the year. And if you can handle the pressure, possibly you will become very successful. But many who won't be able to handle the pressure might get frustrated and might lose the business or even the comfort of their life. And if Mars is affected, your 7th house is affected, your 12th house is affected, means your health is affected. So you need to take care of your shoulders. When you're lifting weight, when you are doing some physical work, be careful of sprain, muscle tear, ligament tears, spondylitis, any other pain related to neck and back. Muscle problems can be a problem for you, and also anger should be controlled because you might react or say overreact. After all, Mars is debilitated and this Mars is in trine with Rahu, while Rahu is in Pisces in the first half. So you might overreact and you might have to pay the price. It can be financial, it can be legal. So be careful there. Adventure is not something that is the theme of 2025. You should stay away from risky business and adventures and just try to live a normal, happy, peaceful life. Jupiter in the first wants you to expand your identity, but not in a matter of desperation. It wants you to connect with 10 people, 4 people, 2 people, but meaningful connections. That is for that only Saturn is moving in the 11th house. Now when Saturn is in the 10th house in the first half, Saturn is going to give you a lot of base foundation. So you will see that things may not actually move very fast in the first half, but the things will eventually move in the right direction, especially towards your health. You need to take care of your overall physical health. You need to walk a lot, keep Mars engaged, and your mental health should be the priority in 2025. And if you're a student, you need to focus more on education. Otherwise, Saturn is going to judge you and suddenly your mood, your energy may dip. So you may have to compensate that. And for that, you may pray to Bhagwan Shiva by chanting Om Namah Shivaya or praying to Mata Mahasaraswati. Saraswati Mantra, Saraswati Yantra, Saraswati Pujan is one of the remedy by which students can manage their day-to-day life. But because Mars is weak, physical activity, I will repeat, is very important in 2025. Anyone who has blood pressure, muscle-related issues should be careful, avoid fighting unnecessarily, ignore debate or verbal or even written communication that can trigger someone. If you are aware, 2025 will be a clear Jupiter's blessing for you. Gemini. Now, in case of Gemini as a zodiac sign, as an ascendant or even moon sign, 2025 is very crucial for you. First of all, your 9th house lord Saturn is in the 9th house until 30th of March. So the first advice will be to write your fate on a clean slate, because this is an opportunity that you won't get until next 27 to 28 years. In fact, you have time only till 30th of March when Saturn will exit out of the 9th house and move into the 10th house. A 10th house Saturn means a Saturn that is more focused towards karma. A 10th house Saturn means a Saturn that is more focused towards the career-oriented mechanisms of life. This time Saturn wants you to win. The Saturn wants you to scale up. Now, when Saturn wants to move to the 10th house, it will aspect your 12th house, 4th house and 7th house. Therefore, this is going to bring your focus back into your career. This Shani wants you to focus and cut down your losses. This Saturn wants to give you more and more career opportunities. And Saturn and Rahu together in the 10th house space shows that anyone who is involved in scientific research, medical research, who is a scientist or who is a statistician, anyone who wants to do who wants to experiment with the career a bit, who wants to change their domain, who wants to learn and take a deep dive into some exceptionally different career options, this year is for you. With Saturn aspecting the 4th house, it kind of stabilizes the matter in the home, and maybe the new career that you are going gives you enough money and enough resources that makes you happy, content, and gives you enough on the table so that you don't face any problem. And that is a beautiful thing for the Saturn going in the 10th house. Now, when you're talking about Saturn, now let's bring attention towards Jupiter. Jupiter, which is for Gemini, retrograding in the 12th house, and then this Jupiter becomes direct. From the 12th house, it moves to your 1st house. Because Jupiter comes in your 1st house, it expands your identity. So the second half of 2025 holds greater importance to you just because your 7th and 10th lord is visiting your Lagna. Jupiter coming on the Lagna opens a wide range of possibilities, giving you career and business opportunities, and it can also open up marriage yoga because Jupiter will aspect the 7th house. Now, if you observe the position of Mars, which is debilitated right now in the sign of Cancer, it becomes retrograde, then it enters the sign of Gemini, and then towards the April month, Mars will move to the sign of Cancer, and it will cover the Cancer zodiac sign in the month of April and May, which means that you will emotionally need to settle down. You will be more focused towards the expenses and money, and the first half of 2025 can show extra expense and the need to earn and save. So this is the time when you should focus greatly on your career, especially when Saturn enters the 10th house. Then the career opportunities and the load on the career will be higher. And if you crack that interview, if you crack the opportunity, if you want to change the domain, if you want to relocate to a different country or a different city for a career, if you want to try a different kind of company, if you want to get enrolled in your favorite company, this is possible at this point of time in 2025. If your Dasha, Mahadasha is favorable, Antardasha is favorable, then this adds on, because it's your Dasha and Antardasha that actually defines everything. Here we are talking 2025 in an overall generic sense, but what it has in store for you is a lot of hard work, expansion of identity, and you will also see that you will be burning certain bridges, doing a lot of sacrifices, especially in the month of July and August, because Mars will join with Ketu. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Now, Rahu and Ketu is also going to shift their axis in 2025. Rahu will enter your 9th house, whereas Ketu will enter your 3rd house. Rahu falling in the 9th house and then coming in trine with Jupiter is going to be a time of experimentation with your own identity, with your own self, what you want and what you don't want. So a little bit of experiment is something that you are going to do, but be careful that experimenting beyond a certain limit is going to cost you your career, your finances, your money, and maybe people around you. You might lose friends and gain new friends, so there can be a overhaul of the network circle, and it should not be that you are losing good friends because of ego, because of unnecessary, you can say, over enthusiasm about something, and this hustle thing will not work for you. Hustling without common sense is like pushing a wall, thinking you can move the wall and you are a Hercules or some powerful person. So when you are applying the effort, you need to have common sense, you need to apply in the right direction. Effort without direction is a scalar quantity that is of no use. So if you want to hustle, do that, but then have a proper direction, and that direction will be given by Jupiter. People involved in manufacturing industry, transport industry, aviation, people who are involved and connected to marine, fishing, fisheries, people who are connected to the teaching industry, the edtech industry, if you are connected to information technology, or if you want to do something in information technology, Gemini will see a great 2025. Coming to family and relationship, as long as Mars do not reach the Virgo zodiac sign, you need to be very careful. Because Mars is affecting your first, second and third house for the first half, in fact for the first 3 quarters of 2025. Which means that this can create frustration, anger, desperation. Your words can be pinching and painful for people around you. Maybe you are too frustrated by your own problem, but you need to understand that your words should be said in a proper manner. Your body language should be very optimistic. Otherwise, this is going to hurt the people around you. However, Jupiter's presence in the first house is going to expand your identity and give you that one opportunity to prove yourself. But how you are proving, how you are approaching that is very important. So when you are in problem, maybe you need to take suggestions, counseling, and do not show authority unnecessarily. Jupiter aspecting the 7th house opens up the idea of marriage. And if you are facing any problem in marriage or married life, Jupiter can resolve that. But on the contrary, Mars can destroy. But if you somehow hold the energy until August 2025, Jupiter will bless you with a lot of positive energies. And Rahu, remember, is in the 9th house, which means you can follow the path of adharma. It can push you to indulgences, shortcuts. Shortcut and quick recovery, or even a thought of quick recovery, will be the biggest enemy of Gemini, because Rahu being in the 9th house in the sign of Aquarius is like air whispering in your ears and trying to motivate you. Have you seen that cartoon, right? Where if the, say, cartoon Donald Duck is thinking, and then there is a angel here and there is a devil here. So this Rahu will be speaking like a devil. You need to focus on Jupiter and apply your own common sense, your own willpower to counter Rahu's ambitions and Rahu's motivation. Motivation is good, but Rahu's motivation is to take you in the wrong direction. Rahu in the 9th house is a Marankaraka Rahu. A lot will be explained in my Rahu specific video, so do subscribe so that you can get connected with me, and also you can get notifications. Follow me on Telegram, where I upload all links, and Instagram, where you can get reels and more information. Ketu being in the 3rd house for the next 18 months means that this is going to take you away, a little isolated, and you will prefer to remain silent, and you do a lot of introspection. It cuts down the communication. It can also give you some shoulder related problem. You can also injure your arm, cause a fracture, especially when Mars and Ketu is together. So be careful about accidents. So if there is a neighbor who had a long friendship with you, suddenly that neighbor may leave the place and you might feel a little lonely, or there can be out of nowhere a verbal spat. You might say something, they might say something, and this turns out to be a relationship lost forever. Be careful. Try to keep a track of Venus and Mercury. Whenever Mercury goes retrograde in 2025, you need to be careful in communication. After all, Ketu is in the 3rd house. Be aggressive, but a passive aggression is necessary. When you are aggressive on the face, Jupiter won't like it, Rahu will definitely like it, but Saturn is also going to take a grip on your karma. Whenever you are having any career related problem in 2025, understand that Saturn is not happy with your actions. You may have to redefine your actions, rework, and especially work with authorities, supervisors, bosses in a positive manner. If you try to show ego and aggression, you might lose your job. So be careful, be humble. Saturn in the 10th house in Pisces wants you to think, and think deep. How can you make your life humble, better, and how can you evolve spiritually? So overall for Gemini, this is a very spiritual and positive 2025, especially towards the end. And health-wise, this is going to give you a lot of improvement. You just need to be careful. If you are an athlete, injuries are going to be on the rise. So while driving, you need to be careful, and you should do a lot of Hanuman Chalisa. Praying to Bhagwan Hanuman is going to give you a lot of success in life. If you are slow and if you are steady, you will win the 2025 with a great margin and score. Cancer Ascendant. For Cancer Ascendant, if you observe, 2025 is going to be an year of ups and downs. It begins with a retrograde Mars on your first house that is swiftly moving to the 12th house. That is something that draws the attention. Is it bad? Not really. It's your 10th lord getting retrograde. So if you want to move to a foreign country, if you are looking to have a career in pharmaceutical industry, if you're trying to work through the career in army, defense, into the field of engineering, this is going to be a wonderful time for you. Yes, it will need a lot of emotional balancing. A debilitated Mars and a debilitated 5th house means that you will not be confident initially on your learning. But eventually it will give you a lot of success if you have that emotional control. Then you see a Saturn, a stable Saturn in your 8th house. Now, if you are a Kark Rashi, that means you are a Cancer moon sign, then this is the end of Ashtam Dhaya, and you should be happy that this Ashtam Dhaya won't return for next 27 years. In the month of April, Saturn will be in your 9th house. With Saturn being in the 9th house and in the zodiac sign of Pisces, it kind of overhauls you. It puts you into overdrive. It gives you a lot of responsibilities and it can overwhelm you. So when you are committing to something, say in a career, you are committing to a career, you're committing to some deadlines, be very careful. Be very careful because this can act as a serious threat to reputation. You may miss it. You may procrastinate. This will make you a little bit lazy, but if you are good enough, if you are positive, if you are enthusiastic, 2025 will be a wonderful year for you. The beginning happens with a retrograde Jupiter in the 11th house, therefore transformation, a positive one, is bound to happen. The first 3 to 4 months gives you Jupiterian blessings. And then in the 8th and the 9th house, the movement of Saturn and the future movement of Rahu in the 8th house creates transformation. Yes, it might make you get more involved with the assets of other people. So if you are in the asset management, banking domain, if you are into investment, if you are an investor, this is going to be a good year for you. But remember, the return of investment may come quite later, but this can be a good year where you can find good areas of investment. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Career-wise, I will say this is going to be a year of much transformation. First Mars goes in the 12th, then comes back to the 1st, then moves to the 2nd, joins Ketu, then comes on the direct impact of Saturn. I have explained this in another video. Check that out. But what this means is that you will be finding it a little difficult in 2025 to understand whether you have to give time to learning and education, to the romance side, to the loved ones, or to the career. So these two things are going to clash. Not that you are failing, but it means that you are getting too much of opportunity, and which is good, especially if you are running a business. But you need to have that balance of work and life. Otherwise, you will be lacking the energy, and if one failure comes your way, it will take away all your motivation and you will feel demotivated. So try to maintain that constant velocity in your career, in your actions, and maintain highest order of discipline. Right from waking up to sleep, from eating food and half an hour of puja and doing pranayama and yoga, this should be your routine in 2025. You are getting the relief from the Ashtam Dhaiya. So the positive transformation is coming your way, but Rahu in the 8th house can make you feel that you are more powerful than what you are. You will end up investing, buying things that you no longer need in the future. Right now you may invest, say, in a company or in a product which may be promising, but if you don't do enough of the groundwork and if you're not practical enough, if you're taking decisions emotionally, then the combination of Rahu and Mars in the 8th and the 12th can create financial issues towards the middle of 2025. The second half of the 2025 sees a positive movement of Jupiter, but this Jupiter being in the 12th house in the sign of Gemini kind of expands the possibility of export and import. It kind of makes you go for an inner dive, introspection and self-reflection. The question is, what has triggered that? Are you doing that because of a failure or simply because of a good guidance and doing it precautionally? If you focus deeply, if you become philosophical this year, and if you, before taking any action, you are prepared for the downfall, you are prepared with a backup, I am sure 2025 will be a never seen positive year for you. But otherwise it can become graveyard for your career. Be careful. Now, if you see, Jupiter's energy will be influencing first your 5th house, 3rd house, 7th house. It opens up the opportunity for marriage. It also opens up the opportunity to travel. So if you are in the travel and hospitality industry, if you want to educate a foreign language, if you want to join a diplomat level of work, this year is going to be promising. Now, one more thing you will have to be careful is your body language. Non-verbal cues and communication, because that is what can make and break relationship, because Jupiter will be in the 12th house and your 7th lord is in the 9th house, but for a month it is going to coincide with Rahu. This can seriously affect your relationship in the month of April and May. This can affect your marriage, can create doubt, and can create very stubborn behavior. So if you are facing that problem and if you are watching this video around April, May 2025, wait, probably take a consultation from a reputed astrologer, wait and allow the time to pass, allow the June month to come. Maybe things will change. Now Ketu is going to move in your 2nd house, Rahu is going to move in your 8th house. This is the time when you will be more either bothered or inclined towards other extended family, family of your spouse, your friends and your network circle will be like your family, or maybe you're treating them like your family while rejecting your own values and space. You are going to copy or mimic somebody. Ensure that you are trying to take or draw inspiration from someone who is a true human. Reading autobiographies of spiritual people, and at the best, reading Bhagavad Gita is going to be very, very good remedy to manage your entire mood and fluctuating karma in 2025. Also try to keep a track of moon. I do make moon transit videos on my Instagram channel. Do check that out. Those are really helpful because it kind of taps into the mood of the day. When moon is crossing and it meets the Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, debilitated Mars points, don't take big initiatives on those days because your ascendant is ruled by Chandrama, moon. See, the Kark Rashi or the Kark Lagna natives may find a very dissociative kind of feeling, a kind of a detached feeling, a feeling where you want to travel and explore. You want to get out of the comfort zone and you want to do something different. But the question is it just the feeling that is overpowering your thoughts and kind of paralyzing you? You're not converting your feelings into actions, because this is more about thought rather than reality. So when you are trying to do something different, or when you're thinking to do something different, you need to implement that in action as soon as possible. Otherwise, this can affect your mental health. People suffering from blood pressure, muscle fatigue, people suffering from brain-related issue should not take stress. See, one thing you have to be careful. Stress should be avoided. Don't overwhelm your body. And if you're an athlete, you need to take great care of your physical self, because the chance that you will get tired, you will feel low in energy, will be high, considering the Mars getting fluctuations and its association, indirect association with Saturn. If you have a weak Mars or a weak Moon in your birth chart, this might need a remedial solution, or if that is not possible, at least chant Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuth Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadde. Health-wise, if you are doing the meditation, the yoga, if you are following the particular path, and at times when you are getting agitated and irritated, when you don't know where the anger is coming from, talking your heart out or even writing a diary, simple things will work brilliantly for you. New career opportunities is definitely on the cards, but again, this location change is possible, which means when you're buying asset like property, cars, consider what will happen to that asset if you are out of that place for say 1 to 2 years or maybe forever. So if you're wanting to work in a foreign country, if you are working in immigration, if you are an immigration officer, if you have visa issues, PR issues, all that will be resolved in 2025 to a great extent, provided your Dasha Mahadasha permits your movement to a foreign country. Overall, 2025 is going to be a roller coaster of emotions, but eventually you will laugh, you will smile, and in the next Christmas and New Year, you will just say, thank you God for whatever you have given me. Leo Ascendant. Now Leo Ascendant is going to see 2025 with different varieties of colors. First of all, the first 3 months, Leo is going to experience a positive, stable Shani, Saturn in the 7th house. This improves the chance of new businesses. This improves the chance to find stability both in marriage and as well as in business partnerships. This can bring in long-term commitment, long-term partnerships. So if you want to look for a goal that is going to last you for a lifetime, then this is going to be a very good time, very good year. The beginning is very positive. Then towards the middle of 2025 is when Saturn becomes very active in the 8th house in the sign of Pisces. And then this 8th house Saturn will create a transformation in the career. Now, usually when you are stable, when you are on a platform, you tend to expand. So this is a kind of a time when your career, your business is going to take a big leap forward. On the other hand, you will be getting a helpful hand from your spouse, from your in-laws. If you're looking for investment opportunities, this time is going to give you a lot of such events in your life. Saturn's 3rd aspect falling on the 10th house, Saturn's 7th aspect falling on the 2nd house ensures that you are a little taking safer steps towards your career, towards your life, and you have to secure your family. Otherwise, you might go into an argument, because if you become a person who is taking a lot of risk, your partner naturally will have to take a back seat and will have to be more conservative. This conservative approach will conflict with your risk-taking behavior and may create a rift eventually, because Rahu will be entering the 7th house, giving you illusion of profits and giving you illusion of another partner or another person proving to be helpful. It's like an imaginary well-wisher. You can assume your enemy to be your well-wisher during this time, so you need to be very practical and think on the long term. If you are a little conservative in your approach, nothing is wrong in that. On the contrary, Saturn's aspect in the 5th house is also going to create sudden career changes, Suddenly you might quit your career and go into education. You might want to do big certification so that you kind of secure. So there will be a certain level of insecurity that will trigger a response from you to create a boundary, to create security, which is nothing wrong here. This is absolutely okay if you are under control. Now, the Rahu will be in the 7th house. Initially, Rahu for the first half is in the 8th house, and then Rahu goes to the 7th house. Now, when Rahu goes to the 7th house, on the positive side, this gives you opportunities in advanced technologies. If you want to open a technology related company, if it is a technical startup, or if you are already a tech giant, this becomes a very positive time for you. New business partnership, new collaborations might happen. Just you have to understand that Ketu enters your first house, which means you will be heavily influenced by the other person, by the surrounding and the atmosphere, especially the public. So if you are a public celebrity, or if you want your brand to become famous, you need to catch the nerve of the circumstance and behave accordingly. So maybe you may not be the right person, so you may have to hire some advertising agency for that. So you need to have a team here. You cannot go solo. And you have to maintain your public image, so you need to listen to all the chatter that is happening around and respond accordingly. Try to be very positive. Try to be very dharmic person, somebody who is following the path of dharma, the right guidance. And for that, you need to pray to Bhagwan Mahashiv by just praying Om Namah Shivaya. Overall, 2025 is going to be the year of transformation for Leo Ascendant and Leo Moon sign natives. But just to add to Leo Moon sign, this is going to be your Ashtam Dhaiya. That means Saturn goes 8th from your Moon. So if you are some other Ascendant, but if you are a Leo Moon sign, then this Ashtam Dhaiya needs to be addressed, and I will make a separate video for this. But if you are a Leo Ascendant and Leo Moon sign, then this transformation affects you the maximum. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that, you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. You might also go into some sort of business contract or even disputes with your in-laws. So you need to be very careful. If you're going into marriage, you need to understand the nature of both the families and try to be the mediator, try to be somebody who is respecting everybody around you. Any confrontation will lead to termination of relationship. Do not forget that Mars is oscillating in the 12th and 11th house, then it comes on the first house, joins Ketu, and this makes you very aggressive towards the month of June and July. Once it makes you highly aggressive, you can take random decisions. So towards the middle of 2025, avoid taking unnecessary decisions, because this can create trauma, this can create bad steps and can cause bad consequences. Medically, this can be very bad for you. You need to be careful. Certain people might, end up visiting hospitals. Nothing wrong there, but just for the checkup. So don't panic. Anxiety can increase. So try to chant Hanuman Chalisa, if possible, 7 to 11 times every day. Daily once, then in the middle, increase the count, whatever is possible for you. If you want to do a career change, then the middle of 2025 will definitely be a time when you can divert to a very different tangent of your career. Saturn aspecting the 10th house, 9th lord sitting with Ketu in the Lagna, 4th lord with Ketu can make you very uncomfortable in the present situation. So you need to think practically whether you really want to quit whether it is marriage or career and do something on your own. Is it really feasible, or it is just a emotion brewing up inside your heart? So wait for a couple of months, and if you are right, this emotion will stay. But if this emotion is just a time-bound emotion, you will really understand the importance of your current place and you will start respecting it. With respect to marriage, this year is going to be quite good, but there can be some difference or a different approach in marriage, something that is a little deviated, something that is different because of Rahu's presence in the 7th house. Kundali matching is definitely going to be a very important, very vital role to figure out whether the marriage is going to last or what is the problem. Every problem has a solution provided you are ready to face it. And if you're ready to face it, the Kundali matching should be done. If you want to book a Kundali matching consultation or any other consultation, you can drop me an email or visit my website. Now, with respect to health, Rahu coming in the 7th house, Saturn going into the 8th, their crossover naturally means that because things are happening in the 7th and 8th, you need to take care of your health. Ketu coming on the Lagna ensures that you focus on being lean, being athletic. Otherwise, you will tend to ignore your health. See, Ketu is where your attention goes away from. So your attention will go away from your own self. You will reject yourself and you will try to be somebody else. Maybe because you are getting taunts or feedback, or maybe you are feeling a little uncomfortable. So the theme of 2025 will be focus on yourself, internalization of emotion, fixing your health, doing whatever it takes, but getting yourself into one unit, because Ketu is a differentiator and it can make you be omnipresent. And if you are all over the place, then you are never truly at one place, and therefore you will not get the desired result, whether you are talking about profession or you're talking about general life. Now with Ketu in the Lagna, this shows that you might relocate to a different place. You might change your country, you might change your identity. That might be very much possible. And if you're looking for buying a property, you may end up buying a property at a place which is different from what you have planned. So a lot of things might happen that is a little deviated from the plan. So have that room. Don't be too strict on the path that you have laid out for yourself. It's okay to deviate a bit if it proves to be a beneficial thing. Now, understanding Jupiter is also very important, because Jupiter is going to be in a very fiery mode. Jupiter is retrograde with the beginning of 2025. By the end, it reaches Cancer zodiac sign. So it rushes from 11th to 12th, from 10th to 11th to 12th. So this gives you quick gain, quick money, quick success. But you will have to understand that whatever you do have to be through the lens of sustainability. So if you're getting quick success, enjoy it, relish it, cherish it, but don't think that this is how it is going to sustain. Jupiter in the 11th, first Jupiter in the 10th and then in the 11th will naturally work in your favor. So Gurudev Kripa will be not only on the 5th house, but it's your 8th lord in the 11th house. So you may change your domain. And if you're looking for a big career change or the biggest change of your life, 2025 holds the cards. Now, if you're a couple looking for childbirth, and if you have any complication, medical issues, this Jupiter's Drishti is going to resolve in the second half of 2025, provided your Dasha and Antardasha supports. If you are having a positive Jupiter and a positive Mars in your chart, this year is going to be brilliant. If you have any dosha related to Ketu, you need to rectify it by doing Ketu Rahu Shanti. Anishtagraha Shanti, and by helping people and serving the dogs. You can also chant Kal Bhairav mantras or Ashtakam through a proper guru. So overall, this is going to be a time which can show you a lot of changes. So be ready, brace yourself for all the ups and downs. Eventually, you will be happy, you will be confident, and remember, the month of March is also crucial because Sun will be in your 8th house joining Saturn. I will definitely make a Sun special video, but the month of March becomes very important because at that time Sun will be with Saturn, and then again the month of August is very important, 15th August to 15th September, because Sun will be in Leo, and when Sun is in Leo, it is with Ketu. So these two are the months that can trigger Pitra Dosh in your chart. So if you are born with Sun Ketu, Sun Rahu, Sun Saturn, Moon Ketu, Moon Rahu, Moon Saturn, then a Pitra Dosh Shanti or some sort of remedy for the Pitra Dosh is recommended. Helping someone who is unable to see will be the best way to manage these energies. Obviously, you can consult an astrologer for a proper insight into your chart, but on a generic aspect, on a overall guidance, 2025 is a tremendously transformative year for you. Be the change. Virgo. In case of Virgo ascendant, the primary thing that happens is that Saturn will start watching your ascendant because Shani, Saturn, will move to the 7th house and will aspect your 1st house. From 30th of March, Saturn's movement will be from 6th to 7th. And when Saturn comes in the 7th, it kind of creates a pressurizing situation on you. If you maintain discipline, if you follow the principles, then there will be no problem. But if you are adventurous, if you are trying to play with the emotion, if you are doing a business that is non-ethical, then this is going to create a lot of trouble and Saturn can stop a running business. Shanidev going in the 7th house and then Rahu entering into the 6th house can also create hidden enemies. The good thing is that Jupiter still aspects your 1st house from the 9th house, and then this Jupiter's trajectory is something that saves you because Jupiter rules your 4th and 7th house. The Jupiter will move to the 10th and then the 11th, and the focus of 2025 is the Brihaspati movement, and if Brihaspati is or Jupiter is very good in your chart, then you have no problem. But if Jupiter is the planet that is afflicted in your birth chart, and if by any chance you are in Jupiter Dasha, Antar Dasha or even Pratyantar Dasha, then you need to work on improving the Brihaspati by following the path of Dharma, doing the rituals, chanting the mantras, reading the shlokas, reading Purana, Upanishads, just following the, I will say, Brahmacharya practice, which does not mean celibacy, but what I mean is that you are following the path of the gurus. You are trying to follow the path. You are trying to be an obedient student. Because if you follow that path, Jupiter's blessing will save you. Not that Saturn is bad. The only thing is that if you are not disciplined, then the Saturn will create circumstance that will pressurize you to become disciplined. This is because Saturn's 3rd aspect will fall on the 9th house, so you can't really rely on your luck. It is a sheer hard work that will carry you from point A to point B. Shanidev will be aspecting the 1st house, Shanidev will be aspecting the 4th house. So there can be instances where there are people who can take away your happiness. You can have problems in your marriage if you are not humble. If you become very aggressive, then this can have negative impact in your marriage and this can have negative impact on your health. Do not forget that Mars, which is a planet that rules your 8th house and your 3rd house, that means it rules your change, it rules your ability to function, is debilitated in the 11th house. So suddenly you might realize that you will gain profits, and if you become aggressive, then remember Ketu is in the 1st house for the first 5 months, and then remaining months will see Ketu's transit in the 12th house. So suddenly you might realize that you will gain profits, and if you become aggressive, then remember Ketu is in the 1st house for the first 5 months, and then remaining months will see Ketu's transit in the 12th house. So suddenly you might realize that you will gain profits, and if you become aggressive, then remember Ketu is in the 1st house for the first 5 months, and then remaining months will see Ketu's transit in the 12th house. It means that you need to cut down your cost, you need to cut down your expenses, you need to focus on your health, you need to focus on balancing the life. Aggression is not going to work here. Mars and Ketu conjunction towards the middle of 2025 in the 12th house can create financial losses and health loss. So you need to pick up the pace. You need to be disciplined. Discipline of food, discipline of sleep. Otherwise, the circumstance will force you. Maybe it can be a commitment that was failed, that is pressurizing you. It can be a legal pressure. It can be a health pressure. It can be pressure of your life partner. And the more you listen to that pressure, the more you are aware about that pressure, the easier your life will be, because you will be adjusting yourself and recalibrating your life, and you will be then finally in the right track, set track, and your life will also be perfect. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Now, Rahu's movement in the 6th house means it is sounding a good bell for young entrepreneurs. If you are starting a company, Rahu in the 6th house can give you great technological advancement. If you are into edtech, digital marketing, or any tech space, or if you are looking for a job in tech industry, AI, machine learning, coding, or any scientific areas, this is a good year. 2025 is a good year for you, provided you are practical, you are streamlining your approach, you are disciplined. That goes without saying. Now, in this case, if you practice yoga, pranayam, it will be very good for you. Now, Ketu's presence in the 12th house is mostly claimed to be a placement of moksha, but moksha from what? Because if you're looking about moksha, then moksha is a point of discontinuity. Planets don't work or effect on the point of moksha. Moksha means freedom. You're out of the matrix. But the planets are a part of the matrix. They are not outside the matrix. So you need to understand that when you're talking about Ketus in the 12th house, it will liberate you from the problems. Don't allow Rahu in the 6th house to create a new set of problems. It should not be that a new set of problems is replacing the old set of problems. And for that, Jupiter is going to play a vital role. So you should chant Vishnu Sahasranam, go to Brihaspati Mandir, do Brihaspati Puja, Brahman Bhojan, doing Satnarayan Katha or any other ritual, something that is possible, capable by you, something that is possible for you, do it. And then Guru means you are trying to be a mentor to everybody, you are trying to teach, you are trying to be polite, you are trying to be humble, you are trying to be collective and cohesive. Anyone who is trying to build their career in ed-tech space, if you are trying for government job and services, this year is very good for you. If you are into marine, if you are into shipping, if you are into transport industry, it's a very good year for you. If you are looking for a new job opportunity and you want to move away from the current domain and you really want to once for all quit and do something different, and it can be radically different, very different from what you do, a doctor becoming a musician, something like that, this year is going to be for you. Now, if you observe, the third lord is going to dance around. The energies are very chaotic. That is why you need to take a deep breath, and with every step, you calculate a backup step, you calculate a fallback, and then you move forward. Your forward motion should always be backed up by a backward stand, so that if there is a fallback, you know that you are in the safe space. With respect to relationship, this is going to be a year of patience, trust. So it is going to build trust. It is going to build long-term partnership. Whatever you decide for long-term. Short-term things are not going to work. This can act as a little bit of a difficult year for somebody who is trying for quick relationships, but somebody who is looking for marriage, long-term commitment, somebody who wants to be there forever, this year is going to be beneficial for you. Just ensure that whenever Jupiter is in the right shape, take most of the decisions during that time. Now for students, there can be a lot of discipline coming your way. If you are preparing for competitive examination, Rahu in the 6th house will help you a lot. Also, one more thing, you have to be, if you're a student, you stop getting distracted from the material world and try to focus on one thing at a time. Ketu will help you on that. If you are an elderly person, or if you are somebody who is unwell at this point of time, new modalities of treatment will help you. Alternative medicine and holistic lifestyle will be the one that will be very much supportive in your case. Virgo is going to go on a very big test in 2025. On one side, Saturn is hell-bent to streamline your approach. Jupiter is ready to guide you. Ketu is ready to take away the unnecessary. And Rahu in the 6th house is ready to give you all the, the easing of the day-to-day activity. It's up to you that you should not do something such as indulgence to alcohol. If things are going good, you become complacent. The moment you convert the Rahu's energy in the 6th house to negative, or something which is asuri, that means demonic, or you do any activity that is tamasic, Saturn's grip will become stronger. This is the year when you will have to be a little humble, down to earth. So people who have strong Mars and Sun may find this year to be a little difficult, especially if you are a Virgo ascendant. So overall, this year will teach you a lot, will give you a lot, and it really depends on you how you can shape the energies, because energies are there to help you, but it is like a clean slate. It does not happen a lot, it is not a frequent occurrence that the planets are offering you a choice. And this time for Virgo, the choice is yours, whether you want to make something brilliant for yourself or you want to break it into something negative. Libra Ascendant. For Libra Ascendant, the primary thing that you always have to look is, where is Venus placed? Now, if you observe that Venus is going to be in the Saturn's zodiac sign in the beginning of 2025. And this Venus is going to be the planet that will show you the reality. Because your ascendant Libra is the place where Shani Dev becomes exalted. And where it is happening, the Venus and Saturn conjunction is happening in your 5th house. So as the year progresses, as the month of January progresses, what you are experiencing is the Venus and Saturn placement in the 5th house, a house that is responsible for education, a house that is responsible for expression, and a house that is responsible for the joy and happiness, the overall productivity of life. So with Saturn being there, it shows that if you are practical enough, 2025 begins with realization. 2025 begins with your need to be more disciplined so that your productivity increases. So what you're going to do is you are going to terminate all that activities in the company or in the job, or say you are working somewhere, or you are thinking about your own personal life, something that is non-productive, something that is non-crucial, something that is acting like a weed and taking away the nutrition away from you, you are going to reject that. It's a great year to be minimalistic, to go leaner, not only from the organization level, but also on the health level. This is the time to understand the practical effect of the karma and the realistic approach of life. 2025 is unlike any other year when this year it tells you, it teaches you, it makes you learn what is the real practical growth, what is the real target instead of something imaginary. And this is going to happen because Saturn is, for the first 3 months in 2025, stable, positive and direct in the 5th house. It kind of gives you the insight, especially if you are thinking to start a business in 2025. What is the realistic approach? This way you will not fall short of funds, investments, manpower, and your decisions will not go wrong. So you are saved here. So use these 3 months for all the groundwork, revision, learning more. Maybe you're missing a point. Try to capture as much information as possible. Then towards the next half, from April to December, Saturn will be in your 6th house. Now it is a popular belief that Saturn functions really well in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of seva, service. And when a planet like Saturn goes there, it makes you more humble. Because if you try to become aggressive, Shanidev is going to place an enemy or a person whom you consider an enemy or a situation that is way more stronger and powerful, and that will humble you. So if you are humble by default, if you are grounded by default, your service sector will be cleaned, your service sector will be proving to be giving you profits, whether you are in a service sector business or you want a job. If you want a stability in your career, in your day-to-day life, Saturn is going to do that. If you want research work to be done, if you are interested in that, if you want to do doctorate, Shanidev is going to help you. If you want to heal yourself and you want a permanent remedy, if you really want a solution for lifetime, this Shanidev can give you. But you have to listen to the planet that is placed there. When you are listening to Shanidev, it means discipline, structure, planned way of life, going slow, not being aggressive, loving yourself, giving your seva, going for humanitarian approach, and maybe losing the limelight, which Venus don't want, but the Shani's energy, Saturn's energy will definitely encourage you. Because this Saturn being in the 6th house aspects your 8th house, aspects your 12th house. So all the Papasthana, Dushtana Bhava, 6, 8 and 12 is under direct impact of Saturn. Saturn can make your life beautiful. If you don't listen, it can wreak havoc. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. All the 6, 8 and 12 houses, energies, and remember, 3rd house energy also, which is your arm strength, is under impact of Saturn. I will discuss a lot in detail when I will discuss Saturn transit in Pisces video. So do subscribe so that you get notifications. But definitely, if you want to understand what this Saturn can do, all you have to do is challenge Saturn. And then you will realize problems can come from all spheres and it will drown you as if you are drowning in the ocean. Or it can act as a boat and help you. It will carry you, lift you, carry you out of the problem. But then you have to listen to the one who owns the boat. Here it is Shanidev. And then not only from the health perspective, from the job perspective, from the day-to-day perspective, your life is going to become a little boring. You will have to make it interesting. Here Rahu is going to help you because Rahu going in the 5th house can make you flamboyant, can make you over-expressive. You need to control those urges, otherwise Saturn will create problems. And then there is Ketu in the 11th house, and the Upachaya houses are 3, 6, 10 and 11 will host 2 malefic planets, Saturn and Ketu. Ketu being in the 11th shows that you are doing a lot of sacrifice, you are giving your 200%, expecting a result in the future, may or may not, that is on to God. You will have to check your Dasha and Antardasha. So when you are starting a business, you cannot think that you will start in 2025 and you will get result in 2025, that is up to God, but you may get results later on. So if you are into business, if you are a startup, if you are investing in a certain company, go for a long-term approach, short-term might not help. Now if you see overall perspective, Saturn being in the gut area shows that you have to eat sattvic. Rahu in the 5th will encourage you to eat tamasic, will focus you towards the exotic food. Nothing wrong in trying exotic food, but you have to focus more on the sattvic energy so that you absorb positive. Why? Because Jupiter will move into your 9th house. When Jupiter moves in the 9th house, it's a war between 5th house and 9th house. 5th house has Rahu. It wants you to learn more. It wants you to tell you you are the best. Your intuition will be all-time high. Your spiritual growth will be all-time high. And Jupiter in the 9th house will help you. But whom are you listening? First Jupiter and then Rahu, or first Rahu and then Jupiter? Because if the Rahu is the one that is the primary driver of your thought, then you are definitely going to lose the track. Jupiter will try its best to bring you back. Saturn will try its best to bring you back. But what about the free will? Rahu will play on the free will, making you believe that you are the best. And then Saturn will find someone and bring in front of you and will say, now prove that you are the best. So being humble is kind of the only choice you have in 2025. Ketu in the 11th house will give you variety of income. If you want to diversify your portfolio, whether it is investment or it is business, you can. Learning new things, changing the trajectory of the career, changing the domain, very much possible. If you're a student, you want to switch the line from engineering, suddenly you want to go to accounts, you can. That is possible this year. So a bit of experimentation, a positive experimentation will cause no harm. Jupiter's presence in the 9th house will help you travel a lot this year. It will help you travel internationally if that is what you're looking for, especially if you're a Libra ascendant and you really want to get educated through a foreign institution. This can help you. This year can be very productive. And for people who are working for MNCs who want to work remotely for a different country's company, or if you want to go abroad, this Jupiter will definitely help you. But the second half of 2025 promises more than the first half. First half is all about laying and building the foundation. Second half is more about reaping the effects and reaping the benefits of what karma you did in the first half. So for Libra, I will say that this is overall a very beautiful placement. Kind of, just that you have to build yourself a different personality. You have to be a little different than what you are now. You have to change your expectations. Situation will come, you will have to adapt. Your intuition, your gut feeling, you need to play on that. And if you want to do any japa, any siddhi, any sadhana, then 2025 is a great year where you can find a guru and you can start your sadhana. Jupiter's aspect on the 1st house, 5th house and the 3rd house also shows that your expression, your overall personality is going to be great. And if you want to do education, say in a specialization, does not matter what age you are in, this is the year when you should think of it. Health-wise, because Saturn aspects your 12th house and 8th house, you need to be slow, patient, you need to focus more on your physical capacity and mental capacity, give great importance to your mental health, give great importance to your bone health. So eat a lot of calcium related food, consult a dietitian to get the proper nutrition rich diet so that you are in the right track. Yoga, pranayam and kriya yoga is definitely going to help you in the long run. People suffering from kidney related issues or any water related ailment should be little careful, and you just need to be consulting the physicians and the doctors more often, just as a precaution. Now, from the perspective of relationship and marriages, new relationship is definitely on the cards, but people looking for multiple relationships will find a lot of problems and they can be in legal trouble, so be careful there. In case of marriage, Jupiter in the 9th house will open up the marriage yoga, and your efforts in creating a dharmic marriage, a dharmic alliance, a spiritual alliance will definitely happen. So try to go to spiritual places, and when you are meeting someone, think of this marriage as a pious, as a very holy institution. Something where there is no difference between you and your partner. That is the mindset that is needed. A mindset of Jnana, Vidya and Seva. If you combine all of this, Libra will see 2025 as the best year of your life, one of the best year of your life. Yes, if you have a bad Jupiter or a bad Saturn, an afflicted Jupiter or Saturn in your birth chart, then this can definitely reduce the positiveness of the transits. After all, your chart really matters the most. In that case, you need to chant Om Namah Shivaya, do Rudri Path, Rudrabhishekam, do Vishnu Sahasranam. And if you don't know anything of this, and if you don't know anyone, what you should do is just simply say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and show surrender. Scorpio. Now, in case of Scorpio, your ascendant lord is traveling in a different zodiac sign this year. It is currently debilitated in the sign of Cancer. It is retrograde. It enters 2025 with retrograde energy in the sign of Cancer. That means your ascendant lord will be in the 9th house. And when your energies of the first house lord goes into the 9th house, it wants you to recalibrate and rethink about your principles, about your values. This year can start with a lot of travel. This year can start with a lot of learning. This year can start with a lot of doubt in mind that whether the direction in which you are going is right or wrong. But some surprises awaits here. Now, Mars will go back to the zodiac sign of Gemini in the month of January. Then it will go back to the zodiac sign of Cancer. And then as the Saturn exits from Aquarius to Pisces, from your 4th house to 5th house, Mars also follows Saturn and moves into the 10th house in the sign of Leo. Now, see the energy shift here. Here Saturn is shifting, here Mars is shifting. Saturn is very important. It's your 3rd lord, it's your 4th lord. And Mars is your Lagna lord and as well as your 6th house lord. Now, when your 6th house lord is placed in the 9th house, there can be some overwhelming feeling and emotions this year. You will be full of responsibilities and duties, and you will have to execute that. So the more you are embracing responsibilities, the better your life will be. And in corporate career also, you will see that the roles and responsibilities that you will get will increase. You will get to know much more about life. You will get to know much more about your own energy, your own identity. And while you are fighting all the obstacles and while obstacles are pinning you down, you will discover your true potential and you will discover your true talent. That's the beauty of 2025. Then Saturn, which is in the 4th house, will plan to move to the 5th house. So for the first 3 months, Saturn's 4th house energies is going to stabilize your heart. It is going to stabilize your comfort zone. So don't react if things are slow. If things are going slow, that means things are consistent. And that consistency is something that you urgently need, because if you try to push unnecessarily, if you try to push the throttle, things will go in a negative way. Remember, Mars is moving towards the 8th house. in the beginning of 2025. Then when Mars goes out of Cancer and Saturn stabilizes in your 5th house, Ketu shifts the gear to the 10th house. Ketu is right now in your 11th house. Rahu is in the 5th house. They will exit out. Rahu goes to the 4th, Saturn comes to the 5th, Ketu goes to the 10th from 11th. This means suddenly you will feel the need of prepping yourself for a different kind of career. So if you want to change or shift the career domain, if you want to go for the dream company, 2025 will be helpful for you. But you cannot be too desperate. You have to, in the middle of 2025, be careful about your job, about your business. Because of Mars and Ketu, you can be very aggressive towards supervisors. You can suddenly feel that you don't want to take orders. You just want to, feel free in your life and you don't want to follow some orders. But a great leader has to have a past where he was the great student. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodashvak chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. With Saturn coming in the 5th house and Rahu going into the 4th, couples who were facing problems related to childhood should see doctors and try to focus on the physical health more. You need to be more aware about the health. You can be a little concerned towards the health of your children, and through the delays, you might get a little bit anxious, but it's okay. It will settle down towards August and September. Now, if you are a Cancer Ascendant native and you have a weak moon, afflicted moon in your chart, then meditation will really be helpful for you. In your case, you should not try to, out of fear, take certain decisions, especially if the decision is very big. Do see the chart, do see the horoscope of the month, what it holds for you, and then take a call. People will travel a lot this year. You will focus on international education. You will focus on rejecting whatever your faith is on and trying to figure out a new faith, a new dimension for you. So you can say this is good, also this is bad. As long as it is under control and you're following the path of Dharma, it is good. Otherwise, this can prove to be really, really bad. On the contrary, if you see Saturn's 3rd aspect falling on the 7th house, can create some tension or trouble in the romantic life. Extramarital affairs can happen in certain cases. This can destroy homes. Alcohol addiction can destroy your home, so be careful. Try to be vegetarian if possible. Try to have sattvic diet. Saturn's 3rd aspect falling on the 7th house, Saturn's 7th aspect falling on the 11th house, and Saturn 10th aspect falling on the 2nd house clearly shows how Shani Dev is trapping your finances. 7th house is business. 7th house is also 10th from 10th. Then Saturn's aspect on the 11th house shows that your income comes under direct control of Shani. And then 2nd house, which is the Dhana Bhav, also comes under the control of Saturn. So fast on Saturdays. Chant Mahamrityunjay mantra. Chant Shani mantra. Nilanjanam samabhasam. Raviputram yamagrajam. Chaya martanda sambhutam. Tam namami shanashcharam. Bow down in front of Shani Dev. Follow a disciplined life, and you should have food-related discipline. Also, you need to control your words and be diplomatic as much as possible. In 2025, you should have the appetite to digest and keep it with yourself keep the secret within you. Then you will see that your circle will help you, your income will increase, you will have a very sharp mindset, and you need to play smart but be ready to work hard. Now with Ketu coming in the 10th house, it shows diversification of career. So if you want to follow your passion, this can help you. But remember, Saturn will reduce the income, so go for a transition and not for a jump cut. On the other hand, Rahu's presence in the 4th house also shows that you are more aligned towards buying lavish vehicles, making the house automated, bringing more and more technology in your life, which is good as long as you are limited. Don't go overboard with this. On the other hand, if you see the presence of Jupiter, that is very, very crucial. Why? See, right now Jupiter is retrograding in the sign of Taurus, and this is how the new year 2025 will begin. Jupiter in Taurus aspecting the Ascendant, aspecting the 11th house. Then when Saturn moves to the 5th, still Jupiter is in Taurus. So you have the opportunity to prove that you deserve the money, the wealth, the people around you, and the best way to do that is focusing on the good karma. So do charity, do good deeds every single day. Pray. Then towards the middle, Jupiter will move to the sign of Gemini, and the moment Jupiter moves into the 8th house, it will aspect your 2nd house. So the second half of 2025 holds the secret of amassing the wealth. If you want to save big, second half of 2025 will work for you. Especially for people who want to do something with their life partner, who want to do work in business partnership, who want to bring in investors. Second half of 2025 will work if you are a Scorpio Ascendant or even Scorpio Moon sign native. But again, I will repeat, go towards the August until Mars moves to the sign of Virgo, so that your Ascendant energy goes into the 11th house. Although Mars and Saturn will be in opposition, but Mars will be free from the presence of Ketu. This year is the year where you have to cut your debts. So if you want to sell a land, if you want to build a property, if you want to sell a company and you want to get the money, all that can happen. Property related disputes should be resolved this year, and try not to go into unnecessary war because Mars is not in a good position this year. I have made a special video exactly explaining this Mars trajectory. Check that out. Now with respect to health, if you correct your health habits, non-smoking is must in this year. Eating sattvic food is must in this year. Your digestion might get affected. Your confidence might get affected. So keep your confidence high. People suffering from blood related issue, muscle related issue, BP issues should be careful. Anxiety and lot of anger, hyper emotional reaction can be a part of this year. So be careful. Enroll into a meditation center. Be a part of the meditation regime or a school, and do some sort of spiritual practice, because Jupiter is the savior here. Your 2nd lord and your 5th lord, when it goes into the 8th house, also increases your gut feeling. It increases your intuition power. It gives you the benefit of the sadhana, and it also gives you speculative gains. So this year, people who are involved in stockbroking, trading, or any such speculative business, if you are focusing on the long term, market will help you. So overall, financially, health-wise, it's a good year, but you have to focus more and more and more on right use of resource and your health, especially your mental health. It's very important. Your Ascendant is a bit weak and trapped. So health is wealth this year. Focus 2025 solely on health, and you will see every other area will fall into its right place if you are thinking in the right direction. To think in the right direction, your body, your discipline should be right. Sagittarius. Now, if you are a Sagittarius Ascendant, 2025 is going to be a year of transformation. This is going to bring you a lot of money. It will initially give you a kind of a situation where you have to invest more, you have to spend money, but eventually it will make you debt free. The primary reason is that your Ascendant Lord Jupiter is in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of seva, service. So if you do Brahman seva, if you do service, if you are doing something for the society, your career will improve. Your job prospects will improve. You will see the expansion in the role and responsibility up to the time when Jupiter enters the 7th house. After which, marriage is on the card because it opens up the marriage yoga. It opens up new business partnership and business expansion if you're thinking about business. So Jupiter transit from the 6th to 7th and then 7th to 8th, and in the month of October, November, it goes back from 8th to 7th. This is a crucial trajectory where Jupiter kind of heals your 3 houses of Kama. 6th house of Upachya, 7th house of Kama, and 8th house of, you can say, lot of ups and downs. Because in 8th house, your ascendant lord becomes exalt. Sagittarius is one zodiac sign which is full of fire. It's a zodiac sign which is there to protect the dharma. The representation of the sign is like a temple. So when your ascendant lord is traversing through the 6th house, it means you have to be humble, focus on all the odds, the ups and downs, the gaps, and you fill that. It will be a toll on you. It will be a little hard on you, especially if you are into any service industry, if you are doing service related business, or if you are trying to find a job right now. Initially, struggle will be a little higher. But eventually, you will stand to gain from this. Jupiter will then move to the 7th house, expansion of your identity. Jupiter will aspect your 1st house, it aspects the 11th house, and it aspects the 3rd house. It shows wish fulfillment. Then you see Saturn's 3rd house energies getting stabilized. So your actions are very slow and very stable and big. So if you're ready to handle big responsibilities and if you're ready to lead from front, 2025 gives you the opportunities like never before, especially people who are in the executive leadership roles. 3rd house Saturn shows that you will be silent, but your action will be firm. Your confidence will be high. And first, it will remove all the negativity, clear the pathway so that the positivity can come. And that is why you should dedicate 2025 to Bhagavan Ganesh. Chant the Bhagavan Ganesh mantra. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surikoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakareshu Sarvada. On every Tuesday and Wednesday, try to do some good charity deeds. And on Thursday, chant Vishnu Sahasranam or Vishnu Shodashanama Stotra. If you are under a lot of debts, this will remove the debt by expanding your career, giving you more and more money. Just you need to show some patience. Then on 30th of March, Saturn will enter your 4th house. Well, Saturn entering the 4th house means that the responsibility on your shoulder increases. You may end up buying assets and properties. If you are into real estate, if you are into hospitality industry, hotel industry business, it is going to bring you a lot of success. But only if you are going slowly, like an elephant, having a slow, conscious walk towards wisdom. Saturn's 7th aspect on the 10th house ensures that you have a good, stable career. But yes, comfort may not be there. You need to find out comfort in whatever situation you are in rather than going home and sipping a cup of coffee. 2025 is the year to give your everything. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that, you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of dasha, mahadasha, antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Now, Saturn's third aspect will fall on the 6th house from the April of 2025. This is good for you. Saturn also aspects your Lagna. And then from May, June onwards, when Jupiter enters the Gemini zodiac signs, you can say middle of 2025 effectively, both Saturn and Jupiter will aspect your Lagna. Sagittarius will be aspected by Jupiter, will be aspected by Saturn. And you know what happens? It makes you very spiritual because Ketu will be in Leo, out of the sign of Virgo. Ketu will be in the 9th house and it also aspects your Lagna. So spiritual industry, people involved in the Puja, Havan, spirituality will see great progress, both spiritual, and if you are connected with earning from this field, you will also be very stable and you will get blessings, you will get a lot of progress. Just don't show greed, don't cheat anybody. Otherwise, the Saturn is going to bash you like anything. Now, if you observe the position of Mars, Mars will be in your 8th house in the beginning. Ashtam Mars is bad for your health, but it is also causing a Vipareet Raj Yoga. Your 5th Lord is in the 8th house. However, it is debilitated. It is there to give you some meaningful insights, and those meaningful insights can change your life. So don't ignore the ideas that come, however absurd it may sound, when you are at rest. Your mind will be very active at night, so try to go into sleep early. There will be a Mars and Ketu conjunction towards the middle of 2025. These energies in the 9th house shows that you can go and be a part of the war that's not yours. So don't try to be a mediator between two parties fighting. Then Mars enters Virgo. That is the time. The moment Mars enters Virgo, you will see a big career change, a positive change. 5th Lord going in the 10th house, aspecting Saturn. Saturn aspects the Lagna, Mars aspects the Lagna, Jupiter aspects the Lagna, Ketu aspects the Lagna. Lagna is getting aspected by everything. You become the center, you become the leader. If you want to start a business, Jupiter coming in the 7th house is a very good time. If you want to start a business with your spouse, second half of 2025 is a very good time. If you want to buy an agricultural land, or if you want to go into farming related business, 2025 is going to be a very good time. People who are involved into marine, who want to go to Navy, 2025 will be a very good time. Now, anyone who is willing to learn more, who is willing to learn the philosophical side of life, who want to go into deep research, scientific research will be the theme of 2025. With Rahu present in the 3rd, your communication will be full of technology. So anyone who is tech reviewer, anyone who is into tech domain, if you want to become a coder, if you want to go big, if you want to go different, you have to do things differently. Rahu in the 3rd house in Aquarius will help you a lot in this case. But you will have to be careful. The terms with your siblings may go bad when Rahu is in the 3rd house. With Saturn coming in the 4th and Ketu and Mars joining in the 9th house, health of your father can get affected, health of your mother can get affected. But if you are praying to Jupiter, your ascendant lord itself will give power to the family. Some sort of mantra jap. And when I say mantra jap, I mean you can take the Guru Diksha and do the Guru mantra, do it. If you are having any problem related to marriage and love and relationship, this year is going to be very good for you. It will stabilize, but you will have to sacrifice a lot. So focus on your career, focus on the work, and be ready to be a man who is ready to give up in order to get something. Try to be an empty cup. It's a very spiritual year for Sagittarius Ascendant. And if you're a Sagittarius moon sign, you will feel it more, as if the entire world is watching you. So you will become very sensitive towards what people might think, especially if you are a public figure. So what you should do? Ensure that your image is clean. Don't do anything that is controversial. Be in the straightforward path. Don't try to experiment too much. And if something is working, don't touch it. Overall, 2025 for Sagittarius Ascendant and Moon sign people will be exceptionally powerful, beautiful, a year of change, but also you will have to give up your 200%. Health-wise, this is a time when you have to focus on Kriya Yoga, discipline. Your heart health will be of great importance this year. So eat food that is anti-inflammatory. Go for a lot of walking. Activate your 12th house by continuous walking. Avoid swimming if possible. There's a chance of electrocution, obviously in rare cases, but Mars is in a very weird sense here. And try to ignore into a verbal war with someone whom you are trying to prove that your point of view is correct. Be a reserved person this year, and be like an elder brother or an elder sister to many. That is how 2025 is for you. A very responsible year. Capricorn Ascendant. If you are a Capricorn Ascendant, 2025 is a wonderful year for you. For the first 3 months, Saturn, which is your Ascendant Lord, is now direct in a steady motion in the 2nd house, and that too in its Moola Trikona zodiac sign. With Shanidev being in Aquarius in the 2nd house, you stand to gain resources. It brings balance and harmony in your life. It is a time of stability and a stable growth. If there are any family situation, family tension, that will be resolved in the month of Jan to March. Then on 30th of March, Saturn will have its movement to the 3rd house, and that is something which can be a little volatile. So the end of March till middle of April is something which you should look out for. Because it's your Ascendant Lord crossing a zodiac sign, and your Ascendant Lord don't cross zodiac signs quite often. It's a 1 in a 2.5 year to 3 year transit, so you need to watch that out. Saturn, when it goes into the 3rd house, ensures that you are more responsible towards your neighbors, towards your siblings. You tend to travel and do meaningful travel. If you are in the field of transport related business, or if you do cargo related business, or if you are connected to export and imports of any kind, this is going to work wonderfully, considering that Saturn has 10th aspect on the 12th house since April 2025. Now, there is another aspect to your horoscope, and that aspect is the presence of debilitated Mars in the 7th house. Mangal, which is Nichastha, retrograde, debilitated and retrograde, in the 7th house actually aspects your 1st house. That means you are bothered more by the circumstance. So you need to listen to your family. You need to stick and stand for your values. And the more you are connected to your cultural roots, the more defensive you will be, the more stronger the defense will be, considering a debilitated and retrograde Mars in the 7th house means that you are having not a great time with business or family life. Mars can destabilize you emotionally, not that it is always the fight, it can be certain circumstance, a difficult circumstance that you have to fight. Saturn is going to help you stabilize the finances, give you the necessary backup, and if you are working too hard for something, you will stand to gain. All you have to do is allow the Mars to enter the 9th house. That means the July and August month are the months where Mars is with Ketu in the 8th house. Avoid that, and then smoothly when the Mars transitions to the 9th house in the sign of Virgo, Mars will stabilize, structure will start to develop, and you will start seeing the things to move in the right direction, especially if you are in a troubled waters in the business, or if you are just starting to launch a product or a business, or if you are starting a shop, or if you are launching a, say, factory, a new business partnership, a new venture is starting, it will need some time to stabilize. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Now, why Mars is so important for you? The reason is because Mars rules your 11th house. 11th house is all your gains, profits, business gains, network circle, people who will support you in time of need. Mangal, when it becomes bad in the 7th house, shows that your business partnership, your marriages may have a fallout. And then there is a Mars-Ketu conjunction in the Ashtam Bhav, and you need to watch out. That time can be bad for investments, that time can be bad for partnerships. If you want to break away from a partnership, if you want to sell a property, set yourself free, it's a very good time. But if you want to start something new, you will have to be a little careful. Now, Mangal is also your 4th lord. So 4th house is also about real estate, vehicles, cars. So this time you may end up buying multiple real estate. You may end up spending a lot of money into renovating a house, buying a car, remodeling your vehicles and assets. Maybe you will buy a farmhouse. So Mangal is going to be very, very beneficial for you. But because Mangal is retro, it will fall back to the 6th, come to the 7th. You should not show revenge. You should not take decisions on the basis of revengeful feelings and a reaction, a knee-jerk reaction. Otherwise, your investments may not prove to be worthy. Why is that? The reason is because Rahu, which is in the 3rd house, will move in your 2nd house. Rahu in the 2nd house is going to work on your finances. So you may fall under an illusion that certain people are friendly towards you, or a certain type of business is good for you, a certain job shift is good for you. You need to check your horoscope, your Dasha and Mahadasha, when Rahu enters the 2nd house. So the 2nd half of 2025 is positive, will give you a lot, but you need to be careful with your words, with your action, with your play with your resources and money, because it might happen that you are thinking that you have enough and you are ignoring the practical side of it and you are falling short. Be careful there. Also, you will have to be very careful that you should not become greedy for money. Life is going to draw your attention towards managing the resources. So if you are an asset management company, or if you are into such kind of fields, if you are into banking and finance, if you are in the insurance domain, this year is going to be wonderful for you. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa, doing Mangal Mantra is essential. The reason being that Mars trajectory seems to be going from the 7th to 6th, then 6th to 7th, then 7th to 8th. So, it is tampering with these houses which are little difficult to manage. Marriage and relationship will be affected the most because Saturn is in the 3rd. Saturn will have a 3rd aspect on the 5th house. Mars will be debilitated and retrograde in the 7th, and then it will join Ketu in the 8th. So the relationship with in-laws can go for a toss if you are not careful. Now, who will be your savior here? Your savior will be Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 5th house. It is retrograde. Then it will move into the 6th house. It will aspect the 12th house. So the first half of 2025 is all about planning, launching a product, starting something, being innovative in your thinking and then pushing yourself forward. And then the second half should be to sustain instead of innovate. Because allow the Saturn to stabilize in the 3rd house, which is your arm strength, and allow Saturn to work on the 9th and the 12th house. Travel and tourism industry and hospitality industry will be seeing a lot of positive growth. But if you are too anxious in your life, then your decisions may go wrong and Saturn may choke you, Saturn may stop you, and you won't understand why the energies are going against you. That is where, if the married life is difficult, then this can add on to the pressure and you won't be able to adjust. So at least try to not burn the bridge. No matter what the difference is, try to manage the situation and don't go for an all-out war unless that is what life throws at you. Try to follow the legal path, because legally you should be correct. So if you're a company, if you're a firm, if you're an individual, see your tax papers, see all the papers are correct. Try to rely on more professional people and don't assume things, because procrastination and assumption are your two biggest enemies in 2025, especially in your personal life and marital life. Health-wise, this is going to be an year where Saturn wants to fix your health, but you will have to do something about it. You will have to work on it. You will have to pressurize yourself. You will have to join the gym. You will have to wake up early and tell yourself, constantly motivate yourself. Again, Jupiter will help you to bring your attention to health. What you will have to do is you will have to constantly focus on the right direction and the right guidance coming from the universe. Aquarius. For Aquarius, the biggest thing that is happening is that Saturn is stable in the Mool Trikona Rashi in the 1st house. You are experiencing a Shashyog. This is going to give you leadership opportunities. The role and responsibilities are going to increase in the beginning of 2025, and 2025 holistically is going to be a kind of an energy that stabilizes your mind, stabilizes your career, stabilizes your actions. It kind of puts you in the perfect spot where from you can project yourself as an upgraded soul, as a person who is more focused, more disciplined. It's a Shani in its Mool Trikona, in the Lagna, in the Ascendant, and therefore this also brings your focus to your health. Remember, this is the last 3 months where Saturn is going to bless you, and you need to make the best use of this. Then from 30th of March, Saturn moves to your 2nd house, and then the highlight of the year will be Shani Dev in the 2nd house. And then in the second half of 2025, Rahu comes and puts its energies in the 1st house. So if you are connected to technology domain, if you are connected to advanced skills, scientific skills, or if you are into the field of statistics, if you are into the field of banking and insurance, and you are in the core banking department, or if you are connected to anything that is software related, digital marketing, digital space related, or if you work with metals, ceramics, if you are working in anything that is connected to petroleum and petroleum products, this year will be the year of profit for you. This year is going to secure your life financially. The only thing is, when Shani Dev goes in the 2nd house, this kind of puts you into a spot where you have to bring all your focus into proper management of resources, especially if you are running a company or if you are into a senior leadership role. You need to bring your focus on efficient management. You will also see that you will have less resources to work with, and you need to make the best use of it. So you should do it with your own resources. You should do it with the people who work for you. You should do it with the team that work with you. Overall, this is going to be a wonderful, marvelous year for you. Now, when the 12th Lord comes in the 1st house, any opportunities coming from overseas is going to be is going to happen with you. And if you are looking for a job in a multinational company, if you're looking for a job overseas, if you're looking to relocate, or if you're working for any company that is registered overseas, this can be a time where you will gain promotion. You can project yourself as a valuable asset to the company, and you will be appreciated. You will be known for your work, and all your hard work will be recognized, especially as the year progresses. You know why? Because if you observe, for Aquarius, soon Jupiter will enter the 5th house. Jupiter is in the 4th house right now. And when Jupiter will move to the 5th house, it will start aspecting your Lagna. It will expand your Lagna through the 5th house, but you will learn so much in 2025, not only about yourself, but also about people around you. You will learn so much about career that this is going to polish you into a different human being. So I will say 2025 is a year of new version of Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius moon sign, it means that the pressure of Saturn on your head is going to go away, because Saturn is no longer over moon. Saturn will be second from the moon. This is the last phase of Sadasati, which is called the setting phase of Sadasati. The peak phase is over. All the burden on the head eases out. But when Saturn goes in the 2nd house, it kind of makes the 2nd house quite heavy. So you might be a little worried about the events that happen in the family. It's Pisces, so the events will force you to rethink about your adventures in your life. It will make you rethink about how you're going to manage the finances. It is going to make you rethink about so many things that it can be a little overwhelming. To counter that, Rahu will tell you that don't think about the family, bring your focus on yourself, be a little selfish. Now, I will say that if you're in a toxic environment, it's okay to be selfish, but Saturn wants you to bring everybody together. So that is where you become a leader. You work with diverse energies, different kind of people, and still you are the one maintaining your calm. If you are in India, this is more like playing like a Dhoni, Thala for a reason. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that, you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. You see the position of Mars. I'm sure if you know a bit of astrology, it might concern you a bit. Mars is debilitated in the 6th house. Then it becomes retrograde in December. It continues its retrograde journey to Gemini. Then it bounces to the 5th house. Then it comes back to the 6th house. Then it moves to the 7th house. And if Rahu is on the 1st house in the 2nd half of 2025, Ketu is in the 7th house. A Mars and Ketu in the middle of 2025 is exceptionally bad for marriage. You need to be very careful, because that can affect your married life in a very negative way, and this is because of the situation in your own personal family. So take care of the health of your parents. Try to manage your career and marriage in a way that you are not over-occupied by the events of life. If you are trying to get married around June and July, you need to be a little cautious. Get a consultation from an astrologer if that is the right month for you, because if you are in a Mars Mahadasha, Antardasha, or Ketu Mahadasha or Antardasha, this can be a little difficult for you. Now, when Mars is moving from the 6th to the 7th and then to the 8th house, it's not very bad, but Mars is very important planet for you. Mars rules your 10th house and Mars rules your 3rd house. Mars is not only your career, but it is also your energy, your will to fight, your willpower, everything is Mars. If Mars is bad, that means your confidence is a little low. You might face anxiety. You might face delays in events. In your day-to-day life, you might face certain hurdles that will irritate you. It can be a health issue also. So if you are an Aquarius, health becomes your highest priority and mental health becomes even higher priority. Work, everything else comes later. Because if you do not prioritize your mental health, ultimately this is going to create so much of pressure, and Rahu's impact on ascendant will create so much of pressure that it will transform you. Basically, it's not just transformation, I will say it is metamorphosis. Better to be a good person. Your conversion should be into a good person, not into a person who is there for revenge, because revenge and rage can be very high, especially if your Mars is negative, afflicted, exalted in your birth chart. Mars in the 6th house can be full of reaction, overreaction, and that can trouble your mind. So if you have a partner, if you're watching this and if you have a partner who is Aquarius, or if you are an Aquarius, allow this video to be shown to your life partner so that you understand that middle of 2025 is like an island where you are all alone and you have to fight for yourself, and you in marriage has to be a unit, and then slowly things will become better. Obviously, these are very generic way of explanation. This is just a YouTube video. Thousands of different effects will be considered when horoscope reading is taken into account. It may absolutely not happen, but on a generic sense, when 7th house is hosting Mars and Ketu, marriage will be affected. Not only that, business partnerships also get affected. There can be some monetary loss also. So allow the Jupiter in the 5th house to stabilize the 5th house, then the 11th house, then the Lagna. Take care of your health. You need to lose your weight and go slimmer if possible in this year, in 2025. With Ketu in the 7th house, your interest will be more self-centered. So for the next 18 months starting May 2025, you will be more focused on your own self, which is good, but don't let it convert into some toxic behavior, especially towards your life partner. And if you are going to marry someone in 2025, especially towards the middle, then get your horoscope matching done and do the remedies that is. See, horoscope matching does not mean that it is a straightforward no. If you are ready to marry a person where horoscope don't match, at least address the core issues and you should know where you are headed, and then the matching is done and then the remedies are suggested. Follow those remedies, do what is necessary to continue the married life in a peaceful way. The next will be career. Career is also dominated by marriage. So career and marriage are going to interfere a bit. So you might see that there can be relocation, there can be impact. Your husband may or wife may not be with you. It may be a change of city or change of country because of your career. You may also get an on-site opportunity because Rahu comes in the 1st house. All depends on the understanding between the couple. So why am I fusing both career and marriage? Because that is what it is going to happen. New opportunities are definitely on the way. If you're looking for a job change, the month of February and March is very auspicious, and then after August things are pretty good. You need to be defensive about money, invest more, spend less, save more. That should be the attitude. And also, if you are over-sacrificing in your life, then you will end up complaining. You need to value yourself. Self-love is equally important, and if things becomes too rough for you, talk to a counselor, talk to an astrologer, talk to a person whom you trust, vent out the emotion. And in a certain way, you will also see that you will stand to recover all the lost time and lost money. So things are also going to be very good. So 2025 for Aquarius will be an year where you will be transforming yourself into a very different kind of personality. Ensure that you are transforming into a person who is good, so that when you look back in when 2026 comes and you look back in 2025, You say, whatever happened, happened for good. Overall, it's a good year. It's a year of promotion. It's a year of success. It's a year of happiness, but also a year of responsibility and your responsibility towards your own mental and physical health. Pisces. Now, Pisces is going to experience a Saturn's movement in your first house. And let me tell you, this is happening after 27, 28 years. And if you are a young person, it may happen for the first time in your life. But if you are around, if you have experienced this before, that means you are around 45, 50, you will understand what I'm saying. The movement of Saturn in the first house comes with a lot of responsibilities. You might feel that Saturn is giving you or handing over maturity with a proper gift wrap. And with Pisces as an ascendant, a kind of a zodiac sign which involves Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is all about deep diving into philosophy, which is all about deep thinking, introspection, this becomes a very philosophical year for you. If you're a Pisces moon sign, Meen Rashi, then this is going to be the peak of Sadesati for you starting 30th of March. So until the first 3 months, you can see that Saturn is stable in the 12th house. If you have visa related issue, if you want to enroll yourself for a work in a foreign country, if you want to relocate to a different city, the first 3 months will really help you. But say you want to change a job or you want to do some transformation in the company or the workspace, or you have a certain expectation from life and you are doing something about it. Nothing wrong, it's okay that you do it. The question is that the future is in the hands of Shani Dev. The future is when Saturn sits on the head. Immediately, this can create a brain fog. Not medical brain fog, but spiritual fog. That means there can be a situation where you are so overwhelmed emotionally that you don't know what to do, and you will have to suppress your emotions and you will have to fight all odds, but you will win. That is why it is more important for the young people to understand this, because this is happening for the first time, but somebody who has already experienced it will actually use it for their own good, because they understand that this is a time not to mess around. This is the time to actually sharpen the blade slowly over a period of time. It's like a food that is slow cooked, and a slow cooked food gets its nutrition preserved. If you rush, you will fall. You will also experience the presence of debilitated and retrograde Mars in the 5th house. This Mars will move to the 4th house, and you may suddenly feel that from February or March onwards, you may feel the need to think about your location, your place in your society. You will think about a job change. You will think about how to buy a new house. Maybe the space around you is not suitable and you want to get out of that space. People who are in toxic relationship will want to get out of the relationship. Do not take any immediate action and go slow, otherwise Saturn's energy will block you completely. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that, you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts, but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports, catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. Immediately, if you see, from 30th of, in fact, for the entire month of April, there is going to be a Rahu and Saturn crossover happening on your ascendant. Anybody who has planets between 0 to 7 or 8 degrees of Pisces should be careful, because lot will happen in your case. I will make a separate video in the month of, say, Jan or Feb, addressing this sole planetary position for Pisces. But if you have 0 to 7 degree any planet, then you need to be careful, because all the crossover, the retrograde Venus, the retrograde Mercury, then Mercury and Venus becoming direct, then Rahu and Saturn's collision, Graha Yuddha, happens on Pisces. Countries which have Pisces as the dominant sign will see naval warfare. You will see countries will be getting prepared, and there will be countries who are called blue water navies. They will exercise strength. Geopolitics will change like anything. And Pisces is something that will end up absorbing. Saturn is like iron ship that floats on a turbulent sea, as if you are going in the North Sea. You see all the ups and downs, turbulence, but you have to maintain your position and velocity. Otherwise, doubts, sadness, loneliness, melancholiness, lack of support will burden you. Now, is this a problem? Will everybody face this? Not really. Not everybody is going to face the same emotion. But this is the theme of the transit. This is the theme of 2025. So what it wants you to do is, it wants you to be the leader. It wants you to grill yourself and make yourself disciplined and perfect. So this is your life taking to the path of perfection, and the path of perfection is not smooth, it is not rosy, it is full of obstacles. You win over the problems, you solve the problems, you win over obstacles, and you reach somewhere proving your worth. So this 2025 will give you ample opportunity to prove your worth, whether it is your relations or whether it is your career. But the only thing is, you need to bow down your head in front of divine. Saturn is on your head. It is going to make your head heavy, not medically but spiritually, and you automatically will bow down your head in gratitude and in humbleness. Otherwise, a weight will come and it will crush you. Now you will say that I'm creating fear out of you. No, I'm not creating fear. I'm stating a fact. You will realize this over the next 2.5 years. Especially if you're a Pisces moon sign, you will experience this more. Should you be fearful? No. Should you be aware? Yes. Should you be ready for this? Absolutely yes. Should you expect a beautiful life? Absolutely yes. It's not that everybody is going to cry and live in poverty. No. A lot of people think that Saturn is going to kill you or throw you. No. If you listen to Shani Dev, if you are ready to work really hard, if you are ready to go walk that extra mile, there is no problem. The same Saturn, don't forget, is your 11th Lord. Saturn is there to give you gains. 11th Lord is in the first house. It's a Rajyog. You will stand to gain job, business, profits, people. And whatever Saturn will give you, after you have struggled a bit, it will give you something that you can cherish for your life. If you get married in this period, you will cherish the marriage. Initially, there will be some struggle. There will be some sadness. There will be some fights. But eventually, there will be some detachment. But eventually, you will find peace and tranquility. Spongy. If you become delicate, then things may not be in the right manner. So mentally, you need to become very, very strong in 2025, because this year wants you to prove your worth. You will be able to, whether you are a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Now come to Mars. Mars is in the 5th house, so you need to establish good connection with your children. Otherwise, you may have an argument. You may be puzzled and you may be confused how to, deal with your children, especially if your children are in the teenage. Mars goes into the 4th house. Eventually, it creates a need of a house or a change of location. Then it comes back to the 5th house. Means you need to constantly ask yourself, if there is a desire developing in your heart, do you really need it? So basically, Saturn will make you over a period of time, a little conservative. With Rahu entering the 12th house, Ketu entering the 6th house, the mid of 2025 will experience Mars-Ketu conjunction in the 6th house. This means you need to be careful with your health. You need to be careful while you are driving. Your day-to-day tasks and responsibilities may be messed up a bit, but if you give ample thought, if you be like Saturn, slow and steady, you will win the race. So overall, for Pisces, 2025 is an excellent year, but also an year where you will understand what maturity is and what beautiful life you can get if you handle things with patience.